It's time for the moment you've been waiting for. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Tsh. Da 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 da. Di da di di da di di da di da 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 di da 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 di da 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 da. Di da di da di di da. Di da di di da 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 di di da.
Welcome to the second episode of the Freaking Odd Podcast with
Nick Bascom
and Jason Bear.
And we're coming at you from the future, and that's not going to make any sense until Jason explains what happened.
We fucked up last week, and we didn't fuck up, the computer fucked up, so we lost
about the first 15 minutes
of this episode. So this is actually coming from week 3, pasted on the week 2, and hopefully we're going to do it right so you guys won't even notice a difference. We got our root beers in hand. We have a secret surprise that we found in the ground. Nick
Is that for the third episode, though?
This?
Yeah.
I say we just do it now while it's fresh.
All right.
Oh, wait. Fuck, you're right. No, that's for the third episode. You guys gotta wait. You gotta wait a week to find out about the surprise.
Okay, so if you didn't listen to the last episode, which we called it episode 0, but it was our first episode. We called the podcast the Oddcast, but
that's not our name anymore.
Yeah, we switched names since then to Freak and Odd.
Freak and Odd Podcast. It's not and in the middle. It's the letter N.
Yeah, and that's Freak and Odd Pod on Twitter.
And Freaking Odd Pod on Facebook after the little slash thingy.
Yeah, and freakingoddpod.com.
Yeah, and there's a Google Plus out there, but who the fuck uses Google Plus?
So last time we said that we were going to get into some weird stories, and that's what we did. But we're going to retell the 2 stories that got cut. So I'll get into my first one here.
And, let them have it, Nick.
Yeah. And I said this last time. We're not going to say this every time.
Give it to him, good.
But just in case you didn't listen last time, we said that, first off, we're skeptics. We're not going to automatically believe everything. We know that there's evidence and things to back most things up. So with that being said, I'm going to get into my first story. So this was, 7 years ago maybe. I was, probably longer than that. I was a freshman in high school, and...
A wee baby.
Yeah.
A wee baby.
So around where we live, there's this giant sand pit, and it's probably the size of a football field. It's pretty big. And it goes deep down, and so there's walls of sand all on the side that you have to run down. And so I was down there with one of my friends. We were just hanging out, and this was on the weekend, and there's construction crews that work there, but they only work there on the weeks. So we're down there, and my friend's climbing on this old rusted crane, and he's up on top, and I'm just walking around kicking sand or doing some shit. And,
kicking a rock.
Yeah. Just an average weekend. No. But so we're down there, and we see this guy start walking towards us, and I'm like, what the hell? They're not supposed to be working this weekend. And it looked like the closest thing I can describe it to was a firefighter outfit. It was kind of like a black jumpsuit. I remember it had yellow stripes on it, and he had some kind of black hat or helmet on or something. So he's walking.
Are you sure it wasn't a ninja?
I don't know. So he's walking towards us, and so I said to my friend, come on, let's go, just because, worst case scenario, he's just going to tell us to get the fuck out of there.
Got out of
there. So we just to avoid the hassle, we were just going to go. So we start walking, and right as we start walking away, he jumps down from the crane, and we start walking, kind of jogging up the hill. And I look back, right as I look back, and there's no one there. And now maybe someone could have been walking and they could have scaled the giant sand wall, but I'm sure, by the time I looked back, I would have seen him climbing up the wall. So we go back, and we can't find any footprints because it's all sand. There's kind of a road where the trucks go down, but we couldn't see footprints or anything, and there was just no trace of anybody there. And this was kind of right in the middle of the sand pit, so it just blew my mind. It was weird.
Was it daytime or nighttime?
Yeah, daytime. Just couldn't see anybody.
There's no track. No. He didn't leave any tracks.
No, and my friend saw him too, so I wasn't going crazy or anything. But
you sure?
No, but that's always an
What
option.
if your friend was crazy?
What if he wasn't there? I was just there by myself.
Yeah, this whole thing was made up. You never even went to the sand pit.
Yeah.
You just been sitting. You were just sitting in your room that day and fell asleep. You just fart.
No, that was my phone. Now.
Fuck.
As I'm trying to silence my phone, Jason starts recording the podcast. All right.
How unprofessional.
Yeah.
You can hear him beeping on the phone.
Okay.
The babes can wait, Nick.
I know.
Yoga pants girl can wait.
Oh God, yoga pants. Well, that's another topic for the third episode. But all right, so we're gonna break into some Ouija board stories. So Jason, did you want to go ahead and tell yours?
No.
Damn it. Well, thank you for listening to the Freaking Odd podcast.
No. Okay, I'll tell my story. All right, my Ouija board story occurred about a year ago. There was this poker game that... Oh, and before I get into this, I say like way too many fucking times, and I noticed it, and I'm going to stop. So if you hear me say like, just be like, stop it. Like right there, like... Fuck. Okay. My Ouija board story occurred about a year ago. And it started out by me going to this local poker game at a bar / restaurant / place. And it was like 7 people there who sat around and played cards for like an hour. And there was this one guy, his name was Brian, who was in a wheelchair, and he had some kind of weird arm problem or something, where his wrist was like bent, and he was paralyzed from like the waist down. But he was there every time, and I played cards with him, and he was pretty cool. But then one day, out of nowhere, he just like died, and I was like, oh shit. So after he died, they stopped doing the poker game, and I was kind of just like in a fuck it kind of mood. So I went to the mall, and I had to search for a Ouija board. I forgot where I went the first time, Walmart or something, they didn't have them. So I went to the mall and got one, and I brought it home, and I'm sitting in my room, because I wanted to try and contact him, since like he died like the day before. I figured it might work better if I tried right after. And so I opened up the box, and I sat on my bed, and I did it with the lights on and the lights off. But after like an hour, 2 hours of trying, absolutely nothing happened. So I was like, well, this didn't work. So I just put it in the box and threw it under my bed. And then that night, when I'm trying to fall asleep, down at the bottom of the bed, I'm just lying there, and then out of nowhere, it was like someone just like punches up from beneath the mattress. Boom! And it woke me up, and I was like, holy shit! What the fuck was that? And then I realized it was probably just a ghost from the Ouija board, and I kind of just accepted it and went back to bed. But the weird part was when I woke up the next morning, I opened my eyes, and I'm staring right at my door, and right when I open my eyes, my door opens on its own all the way. And that's the last thing I remember. I think I went to bed after that again. But it was just weird that I woke up at the exact moment my door started opening, and I was staring right at it when I opened my eyes, too.
So I've had a couple of experiences with Ouija boards, too, and there's one that I can think about that had 3 other witnesses who can back me up, all at kind of different levels of... they're all kind of skeptics, too. So it was myself, my brother, and my 2 cousins, and this was a couple years ago. We were over at their house, and my aunt, she's kind of religious, so she had a priest over. She's friends with him. So anyway, we're down in the basement, and we're messing around with the Ouija board. And at first, nothing's happening, and then it kind of moves, but, then you can never tell if someone's screwing around with it and moving it.
Yeah.
But So then it spelled out priest. So we asked it if it had a problem with a priest being in the house. And I'm not going to get into religion and stuff here, so don't worry. But so then it said yes. It went to yes on the board, and then it spelled out fuck you.
Oh shit.
And right after it spelled this out, they have little shelves built into their walls, so they had a stack of board games and pictures lined up on the shelves. Right after it spelled fuck you, one of the pictures falls flat on its face, and like 2 or 3 of the board games come toppling down.
You know,
this is at the corner of the room. We're not even anywhere near it.
that happened at my. This was gonna be one of my stories, but fuck it, I'm just gonna blend it in. At my grandma's house, my uncle's like there was a ghost definitely at my grandma's house, and one of the things that happened was my uncle was in his room and he had a line of books on his shelf, and just like in freaking a movie or something, they just went down the road, just flew off the shelf onto the floor one day.
That's nuts.
And it was like, oh my god. So yeah, Ouija boards, we should definitely use one sometime. Nick's like, well,
that was the last time I used one. Because there were a couple other weird things, but I don't know. Some of them could probably be explained in other ways. But
I saw back when I was doing the Ouija board stuff, I found this YouTube video, and like obviously I can't know if it's real or not, but these people were these people were doing the Ouija board, and they were like asking it questions and stuff, and they took their hand off it like that, and they were doing it above it, and they asked it. I don't know what they asked it, but the planchette.
Yeah, the planchette.
Yeah, the thing just flew off the table, and they seemed genuinely like, oh my god. And the guy was like, you guys didn't do that, and they were like, no. Like I could tell by their voice that it didn't seem like they faked it, and it was a glass table too. Obviously, it's a YouTube video. There's no way to prove it, but.
Well, when I first got introduced to it, I was still skeptical and I didn't really believe in it. So the people who were doing it, there were 2 people who had their hands on it, and I wasn't even touching it.
Yeah.
So I would ask them questions that only I knew the answer to, that I knew they wouldn't know, like a friend of mine, they don't know, like his grandmother's name or something like that, and it would actually spell it out, and I wasn't even touching the board. So that's what kind of brought me into it, and then that last thing kind of got me to walk away from it. But I don't know.
Yeah. What happened with the shadow people?
Oh, that was just one thing. I don't know what that is. That was probably just my eyes playing tricks on me. But
yeah. So
I don't think that's worth mentioning. Well,
mention it.
We can talk. No, I just saw what looked like this shadow kind of go by out of the corner of my eye, but that could be anything.
Yeah.
It was weird. It just looked like it was really tall. It was weird.
See, that was something like that was going to be one of my stories, but I was like, nah, it's not.
Yeah,
it's not good enough. But I was down in my room, and this is back when I had long ass hair, so at least it could have just been a piece of hair. But I've always felt there's something in my hallway. When I walk out there and go up the stairs, I can like feel something like behind you for some reason, and it's always been like that. I've always wondered if there's like something down there, because like sometimes I'll be in my room, like when I used to live at home, and it'd be like completely comfortable in there, and then other times it didn't want to be in there, and it was very uncomfortable. But when I had my room on the other side, I was just changing my underwear or something, like putting my pants on or something, and I had my head down, and then out of the corner of my eye in the hallway, it looked like there was this tall hooded figure that just swooped past into the laundry room. And I was like, what the fuck? And it was really fucking creepy.
Wow.
And my brain just kind of said, it was a piece of hair. And I just kind of forgot about it. But probably just because it was such a freaky thing to see. But yeah, that was weird.
Oh, we should talk about the sewer video. Where did that take place?
Oh yeah, in the London sewers. Yeah. There's this video of a robot. It's like this little robot camera. You can find it on YouTube. Just search for like or actually we'll post it in the description for the pod. But there's this like little RC robot thing. They're driving through the sewers in London or something, and they come up around this corner, and they see this little white thing around the corner, and it sticks its head out, and it looks kind of like an alien head, and then it goes back in, and then the little robot moves further and stops and waits, and it sticks like its whole head and neck out, and you can see its eyes are just like black. They're just like, it's weird. They're like glowing black, I think. And then it goes back, and the RC car goes forward to try and see it, and the thing you see this thing with this huge like rat. It's pictured just like a hobbit that has no fur, and he's all white, and he's got this huge like white rat tail, and it just runs across the screen. And that's one clip of it. And then another clip, it's the little robot is going down another sewer part, and you see the same thing just fly across a junction in the pipe, and it's just really creepy. I wouldn't want to be down there.
Yeah, we'll put that video up for those of you who haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, don't watch it when you're alone, or watch it when you're alone. It'll be better. This Fresca tastes like poop. Trying to poison me. Nick's gonna take over the show.
I'm gonna get Sean White in here as a co-host.
Motherfucker.
And then kill him too.
Murder cast. It'll just be a show about.
I'll be the podcast killer.
all these recordings of Nick killing people. Oh man. What else? Did you have another story?
I have one that's kind of interesting. This was maybe 15 years ago. I think I was 7 or 8.
Mm-hmm.
And at the time, my dad had lived in Chicopee, and my brother and I would stay with him on the weekends. So he was living with his ex-girlfriend. Well, his girlfriend at the time, obviously, but she had 2 daughters. And they were around my brother's age. So we were all walking through the woods one day. And, they live near the Spalding factory. You know where that is?
I do not.
It's like, they make like basketballs and baseballs and stuff, and they use them in the pro sports. But it's kind of near there. So we're walking through the woods, and we came across this creepy, rusted old car.
Mm-hmm.
It was like an old Beetle, Volkswagen.
Yeah.
And it was so weird. The passenger door was missing, and there was an old shoe. It looked like almost a child-sized shoe next to it.
Yeah.
And on the tree, there was a tree next to it, and hanging on the tree was a rope, and the end was frayed.
What the fuck? That's creepy.
Yeah, I mean, looking back on it now, I kind of wonder what the hell happened there.
Where? This is just in the middle of the woods?
Yeah.
You never told me this.
I know. I was thinking of stories for the pod, and I kind of just thought of this.
How did a car get out there?
I know. I'm just wondering what happened there.
Did somebody drive out there and
Yeah.
just hang themselves, and then the rope the rope broke from the weight, and their body decomposed, and
Yeah,
there's just a shoe left?
Maybe like the police cut him down or something, and someone was supposed to go back and get the rope, and no one got it.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was weird, and it was creepy too because the shoe was so small.
Ew. I wonder if
I
that's
don't
still
know.
there. We should go there for
Yeah.
the pod.
Got to try to remember. It was near some wooden playscape or something. I don't know, but we were pretty far out into the woods.
That'd be crazy.
And then we found these. This isn't creepy, but we found these docks. And we tried.
Ducks? You found ducks
no,
in the woods?
These wooden docks, and we were trying to make a raft, and then this guy chased us off.
What guy?
Some guy, he was all pissed off and he went on and he was yelling
Get
about.
the fuck away from
yeah.
my ducks!
So I killed that story. No.
You killed him?
No. That's how I got my start as the podcast killer.
Oh man. Yeah, I think that'd be pretty cool. Like, even if we could also do like video clips or something,
Mm-hmm.
and be like, do like a video pod, and then also take the audio and just make an audio pod for it.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys would be interested in seeing that, even though there's nobody out there. We don't have any followers yet, but if you'd like to see that, let us know, and we'll start looking at places, because that'd be pretty fun. Maybe we can get Wesley to go.
Yeah. And should we keep the odd light segment where we take someone's
Yeah,
suggestion?
we'll keep that going.
Yeah.
We're still waiting for people.
Yeah. So last
to,
week we kind of talked about doing a segment called the odd light, like a spotlight, where you guys could send in topics you want us to talk about, and we'd shine an odd light on it for that episode and talk about it.
Yeah, that'd be cool. And maybe we could even like have them like come on the show or something. Well, we're not that big yet. No, fuck that. Forget that.
No.
just give us a topic and we'll talk about it while drinking
The first.
Fresca that tastes like acid piss.
I think the first topic will be stop podcasting.
Oh, I wanted to talk. Did you hear about the I don't know how to pronounce it. The filet lander, or it's probably pronounced like Pillay.
I don't think so.
a few days ago we landed the first
Oh, yeah, yeah.
the first lander on a comet. Is it a comet or a meteor?
I'm not sure.
I think it's a meteor. Well, we landed a robot on a giant flying rock, millions of miles away from Earth. Maybe, I don't know exactly how many miles, but it took it 10 years to get there. And I think I remember when they launched it in 2004. I was in middle school, and they were like, "It's gonna take it 10 years to get there," and I was like, "That's never gonna fucking happen." And then 10 years later, there it is. Imagine like the stress level of being the guy who has to land that on the comet 10 years after you launch it. It takes half an hour for a signal to go from Earth to it. So like if you're like maneuvering it, you maneuver half an hour later, you get to see what happened. It almost actually didn't land right. Like one of the probes stuck, but the other two didn't. So it was just like flopping around in space. It's funny because they made a Twitter for it, and talked on the Twitter in first person. Like, I just landed on the comet, guys.
Just follow it. Try to get it to follow us.
Retweet the Freaking Odd podcast.
Should broadcast in space.
That'd be cool. Imagine the first space podcast. It'd be fucking awesome.
Well, there was something that they launched a long time ago, and it was supposed to have died by now, but it kept going.
Oh, really?
And it finally, I'm not sure what it was, but it finally reached interstellar space. So
Wow.
it's out there, still going now.
Damn. We're in control of it. Like, we can...
So, I don't think we can move it around and stuff, but I think we can still tell where it is.
That's fucking cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched the launch diagram kind of thing for the Philae. I'll just call it Phil. For Phil, and in order to reach the comet, it showed like little dots representing the planets and the sun in the middle, and they're just spinning. And in order to reach the comet, they launched it. It went out in orbit, and it literally circled the Earth and stuff like 10 times. And each time its orbit would get longer. And in the last orbit, it went way out and then like perfectly aligned with the comet. And I think it's just crazy how they can even conceive doing that.
You have to be so precise.
I know.
And if you screw up, how many billions of dollars is that?
Yeah. It blows my mind that we can even do that today. Just the amount of precision you need to be able to launch something like that, and it's crazy.
Imagine being the guy who missed.
He's just like, oh shit, guys.
Well, 10 years. Yeah.
You're gonna be mad. They'd fucking stone him. They'd be like, ah.
Funny story.
It's in the news. Local probe controller is stoned to death for missed launch. Or they go to land on it and everything's perfect, and it crashes into it and explodes. There's just silence in the place.
All their heads turn and look at him.
The guy's just like, whoops. My bad. No pizza that day. They have like 10 boxes of pizza. The guy just sweeps them off the table and stares at him. The pizza guy who brought him's just like, I'm gonna leave. Oh man. Yeah, so I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think I didn't look into it too much. They said it's gonna be like going towards the sun more, so like the ice in it is gonna start to melt, and then they'll be able to analyze the water and stuff that comes. And I'm wondering if we're gonna find some bacteria or something on there, and have the first alien life found, which would be pretty cool. I mean, it's not like an alien, but bacteria.
It's something.
Most likely choice for first contender.
See, that's one thing that I don't consider supernatural as aliens, because a lot of people kind of group that up with all the other paranormal things, but I think that's a possibility.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be little green men, but, it could be anything.
Oh, that reminds me. I went to the Goodwill yesterday, and I loaded up on my phone. I was searching for the most rare VHS tapes to see if I could find some and then sell them. And they're like Winnie the Pooh and Disneyland stuff or something. but I couldn't find any of
Oh,
those.
did you get me one?
They actually had the original Winnie the Pooh, and I think it was going for like $14, but I didn't get it. But I actually was going through. Let me see. Let me get it. Where is? Here it is. We'll post a picture. We'll post a picture of this on the pod page, and we're also trying. I'm trying to get the website together, freakandoddpod.com. You can go there and you'll see nothing, but hopefully when you're listening to this, you'll see an awesome fucking website with a whole bunch of podcasts on it. But if you want to see this VHS tape, it's called Area 51: Secrets of Dreamland. The uncensored truth behind the cover-up of the century. And there's just the most cheesy UFO picture, and they're flying over a desert with a mountain range in the background.
They're trying to abduct sand.
It looks like the UFO is trying to abduct the UFO. It's like, get the fuck back here. Like, so
That's how he crashed.
yeah,
He was trying to escape the other dude.
they're gonna anally probe him.
Not again.
He knows what happens. So, yeah. The foremost researcher in his field, Norio Hayakawa, he's gonna expose the truth about the Groom Dry Lake Test Facility in Nevada. And I mean, 83 minutes. Me and Nick are gonna watch this puppy and see if there's some good material here. Because I've always wanted to watch just a VHS that you'd never find anywhere but the Goodwill or the Salvation Army or a tag sale. Just like, where did this come from? Who made this? It's made by Good Times Home Video. So we're gonna watch that. I got it for 50 cents.
We should post a review about it.
Yeah. I mean, who knows, man? Maybe there'll be some good shit on here.
Shit, 1996.
Yeah. Maybe there'll be some, like, unseen footage, and there was also another one that was, like, made by, it was, like, the same exact, like, scheme, like, green. It was made by the same people, just a different picture here. But I just felt like this one was the one.
See, the thing about the older stuff, a lot of it's probably fake, but it's probably a lot harder to make, Photoshop and stuff back then.
Yeah, true.
Because now, I mean, you can see these videos that they look so real, but you can tell it's obviously Photoshop.
Yeah. And it's weird, too, because, like, Nick's on his phone. Nick, we're trying to run a professional podcast.
Forgot to turn the sound off.
He's texting babes. But isn't it weird how, like, today CG is so good that even if there was a real video of a ghost or an alien or Bigfoot or something like that, nobody would believe it. It instantly become a hoax. There could be stuff out there that we're never going to know if it's real or not because we have the technology to reproduce it. And, like, even, like, the video analyzers, the CG is so good that somebody could spend the time to make it look genuine.
What city was it that had the lights over it for a while?
I think it was, like, San Diego or something. The Phoenix. Phoenix lights. I think those. See, I'm not sure about those, cause I saw a video. Like, I think the Phoenix lights themselves happened, but I think that video was not them, because I've seen a pretty convincing documentary on it where they overlaid the mountain range in the back, and, like, forgot what they did. They overlaid the same view with another video from the same spot, and they overlaid them so you can see, you got the lights there, they appear, and when they go down, they disappear once they go behind the mountain range. What I mean, so I don't think, if anything, I don't think it was a UFO floating there. And I don't know, because, like, I've also seen in documentaries that they'll interview people and they'll say they've seen the video and that's not what they saw that night. For whatever reason, that maybe the government decided to make that video so they could just say that it was flares going behind the mountain. But I've seen videos, people just saying that it was like a football field size triangle that went over them, and they seem pretty convinced of it.
Mm.
So there's no proof of it at all. So nobody knows. It's just weird that everyone is on the same story and not like something different.
And there have been like Air Force pilots and astronauts who have come forth and said they've seen stuff too. I don't know, maybe they're just saying it for publicity or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know why you'd make that stuff up though.
Yeah, I mean, like, if you have no reason to make it up, you're not going to make it up. I feel like if there's even, like, one person who's telling the truth, that's all that matters.
Mm.
And it's just so weird that there's, like, so many people saying it.
And a lot of people describe the same types of things, too. Like, a lot of people say they see triangular ships, and they...
Yeah.
Stuff like that, and they'll... If they have sketch artists draw it, it'll be the same thing on a bunch of different accounts.
I mean, there's actually, the TR-3B, I think it is, which people think like is supposed to be like a secret military aircraft, which is like the triangle.
Mm-hmm.
And you can find, I forgot if there's like real pictures of it or not. We'll have to look after. But it's like the same thing that people describe, so it could easily just be like a military craft too.
Yeah, because I had a huge thing fly over me. This was years ago before I even knew what it was. And it was a giant, kind of triangular thing.
No, really?
But it turns out it was
the
a...
fuck,
No,
Nick? Where are all these stories coming from?
No, it wasn't a UFO. It was a stealth...
really?
a stealth bomber, I think, from the
Yeah.
Air Force, because there's an Air Force base nearby. And it just flew over, but it was so low. It
Really?
freaked me out. I had no idea what it was.
That's fucking awesome.
No, I found out later it was a stealth bomber.
Did it have the triangles at the back of it, or?
Not really. It was kind of triangular, but then the front kind of dips off into another triangle. It's weird. I'll try to find a picture of it.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean...
And then it dropped a bomb, and then...
Poop. Turds. We gotta think of some topics. I'll probably just edit this part out.
Yeah, we might need some more elevator music like last time.
Yeah. We'll be right back while we think of some more topics. What do we talk? We'll talk about the cupcake. So Nick has this cupcake in the corner of his room. It's not a real cupcake, but it says cupcake on it, and it's like the size of a small.
Yeah,
It's huge, actually.
it's a giant kind of foam plastic cupcake.
Where did you get that?
I didn't get it for myself. We got it for my cousin, but she didn't want it because it was so big. So I just ended up keeping it. We got it. It was like $10 at a liquor store there.
We should make that the cover of the pod for this pod. Oh, Nick's playing with his balls on the table.
Oh, I got the pool ball. Yeah, it's a giant cupcake.
That's pretty cool. Shit. I had something that I was going to talk about, but I don't remember. Fuck. I mean...
You could throw something in there.
Poop. Turds.
Another sandpit story. We were down there in the winter, me and my same friend. This was around the same time, actually, probably that same year that the fireman thing happened.
Mm-hmm.
And what happens down there is they're constantly digging and filling in sand and everything, so you never know where all the pits and holes are going to be and everything. And so there was snow everywhere. It's kind of the middle of winter, so there's a decent amount of snow. But over time it had melted and kind of refroze, so there was a lot of ice.
Mm-hmm.
So we're walking around on the ice, and it looks like you can see the sand right below the ice. So we're kind of just walking over it. And it's kind of a decent size. It's not a huge lake or pond or anything, but it's kind of a decent size thing of ice, surface of ice. So we're walking on it, and we get to the middle.
James comes out of it and just grabs you.
Pulls us under. Anyway.
We'll have to have James on one day.
Yeah. That would be good, James. Get James and Wes on here.
Yeah.
But,
Go on.
Yeah, not Jason Bear, though. Fuck him.
Who the fuck is Jason Bear?
I don't know. I'd never do a podcast with that guy.
No way.
All right. So we're in the middle of the ice, and as you can probably expect, it starts to crack. So I look down, and I mean, it wasn't that serious looking back at it now, but just for the split second.
You see Kermit float under you, swimming under you.
Because like I said, it looks like you can see the sand. So for the split second, we fall through, we go all the way down, and I go all the way underwater, The water,
do?
yeah, the water goes over my
Oh,
head.
shit.
It's this deep. The water goes over my head, and I still can't feel the bottom of my feet. So just for that split second, you know when people say, I'm not saying I was about to die or anything because I wasn't, but you know people say their life flashes before their eyes?
Yeah.
I think I kind of felt something like that.
Mhm.
Because as I was going down, I don't know, it's going to sound weird, but
Let it out, Nick.
I got a string. I got like so many different thoughts and images run through my mind all at the exact same time.
Yeah.
And that's never happened before. It was so weird. Like I saw all these memories just flash back. And all of a sudden, 'cause I was completely underwater, so I popped back up, and we were able to just kind of break through the ice with our elbows and pull ourselves up. But
Oh, shit.
just that second was freaky.
Wait, so you did you break through another part of the ice?
No, we came back up through the hole that we fell through.
Yeah.
And to get out, because we were trying to push ourselves out, but the ice
it kept
it
breaking?
kept breaking, so we decided just, like, we took our elbows and just kind of slammed on the ice and pulled ourselves out.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there was a larger area, too. If we were in that area and that broke, that probably would have been worse. Yeah, it was so weird, though.
That's
Just
fucking
that feeling.
weird.
All
It
those-
looked like the sand was right underneath it.
Yeah.
That must have felt fucking crazy.
So out of nowhere, I just go completely underwater.
Oh my god. I had something like that. I didn't have my life flash before my eyes, but I was fucking pissed. I was probably like 9 or something, and me and my uncle went to this waterfall with this girl and her daughter, and I'm out there swimming near the waterfall, and there's this part where the water starts to like swirl, and it's like the deep part in this corner, and right next to it is this big rock that's sitting there, and for some reason I like swam out to the whirlpool, and I'm sitting there, not sitting there, but I like got sucked into it, and I'm trying to grab onto the rock to pull myself up, and the girl he was with, her daughter, is standing on the rock, and she keeps stomping on my fucking hands while I'm getting pulled under, and I'm like screaming, and I forgot what happened, but I think my uncle he came out and got me or something. If he didn't, I probably would have like got pulled under and maybe drowned because it was strong. He even went out there and it was deeper than how tall he was. So but I didn't have my life flash before my eyes.
I don't know if it was that per se. It was just weird. I've never experienced a thought like that. All those thoughts combined into once, like, all at the same time. I think that's kind of the closest thing I can.
Yeah, it
think
probably
about.
was. You just didn't die.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking about that today. How much it would suck to drown.
Mhm.
Just, I don't know if I'd want to go that way, but it'd be better than being crushed alive or
Yeah.
burning. I'm not gonna die. I'll just not die.
I think, wouldn't you probably just pass out before you would suffocate? I mean, wouldn't you pass out before you
I don't
feel
know.
any pain?
Because when I hold my breath, you know that feeling like your body's gonna force you to breathe?
Mhm.
I just feel like when you're underwater, your body forces you to breathe and you just pull in the water, and then
Yeah.
that feeling in your chest just keeps going and going and going until you probably get lightheaded, and then your vision probably goes like, you know, where you're in the shower or something, you open your eyes and you can't see anything because it's all blurry. I feel like it probably does that, and then it's probably just a weird experience. We should have a whole episode on what it's like to die.
Yeah.
It'd be weird. We'll die for the podcast and come back to tell you how it was. Oh shit! I think there was a time when no, I don't think I've never had a near-death experience. I don't think. I feel like there's something though. I'll think of it for next time. Poop, turds. A lot of editing going on in this one.
All I'm thinking about is penguins.
Oh yeah, when we were thinking about doing the podcast, we were talking about topics, and out of nowhere he just goes, "Been thinking about penguins a lot lately," and he just turns his head to me, and I'm like, "Save that for the podcast." All right, we're in the podcast. Why have you been thinking about penguins? So
I saw
much?
this. Not usually into nature shows, but I saw this penguin documentary. It was like a 3-part thing, so I caught the second part. It was just kind of interesting, so I was watching it. I had it on in the background.
That's what Nick does when he doesn't podcast.
Yep,
He watches
all day.
documentaries on penguins.
All day. No, it was just cool how it was following this group of penguins, like from as they were born up until they were mature enough to go off on their own.
So stalking penguins.
Yeah, they had these cameras. They had like penguin cam. It was this giant stuffed animal penguin that would roll around with a camera in it. They had rock cam, and they would call it. They were like, let's check back on penguin cam.
It's a robotic penguin.
Yeah. And the other penguins would kind of walk up to it, and this one mother penguin was trying to keep it warm.
Oh my god.
Probably letting some other penguin die so penguin cam could stay warm. But
that'd be funny if it's just, they're like, let's check it on the penguin cam. They go to it, and it's just this, like you see this group of penguins down by the water, and it's just this one fat penguin that waddles up to it, and he just slaps it with his fin, and it knocks it over, and you just see it walk away like waddling. To catch a penguin.
But they were following 3 different kinds. I think they had your classic tuxedo. They had
Classic tuxedo. He knows all the kinds of penguins there are. He knows their mating habits.
I'm majoring in penguins.
Is that why you have all this penguin stuff?
And there was another kind, and there was another one called rockhoppers. I don't remember the second name, but the rockhoppers, they didn't.
Do they hop on rocks?
Yeah, but like they hop down all these canyons and shit, and they don't care if they fall. They'll
Really?
roll down, they slam their heads on rocks and shit.
Oh my
and they'll just
God.
get back up and keep hopping around.
They're just like, whatever.
And the older ones are dicks to the younger ones too. They kind of like push them along and they peck at them and shit if they're not doing what they want them to do.
We should make a video compilation of rock. What do they call?
Rock hoppers.
Rock hoppers just falling just over and over, and put that Benny Hill. Fast forward it a little bit. That's what we should do.
And they had rock cam, which is a fake rock with the camera moving around, and one of the rock hoppers hopped up on it. He's just riding around on it, just looking around.
Wait, so it's a rock with wheels and a camera?
Yeah.
Oh my god. That's crazy.
I think at one point one of them was knocking it over too because it would flip upside down every once in a while.
We should watch this. What's it called?
I don't know. I'll get the name of it.
Secrets of the Penguins.
Oh, something. A spy in the huddle or something like that. I think.
Oh damn. Penguin stalking. Sounds intense.
Yeah. And they raise them until they're old enough, and then they just leave them.
Oh man.
And there was one part where this huge bird came down.
Yeah.
And I think a couple of the adults had gone off to get some fish.
Mm-hmm.
So there was only a couple of adults left, and they were all I don't know if you call them cubs or the baby penguins.
Yeah.
The chicks, I guess.
Penguins.
Yeah. And they were kind of mature, but
Nick, get your hand off your balls.
I'll put them at the other side of the table. They can reach. All right. Yeah, so they fought off this bird. You got to see it. It's cool.
Bird
So
fighting.
this is right up
They
there.
slap it with their fin.
This is
Can
right up-
penguins fly? No.
No.
Can they even like flop just like short distances?
They can kind of jump. I don't think they can fly.
Oh my god, that's gotta suck.
The rock hoppers were jumping. This is like scooters all over again.
Wonder what would happen if you took a penguin and gave it
Gave it a
it
scooter?
bigger wings, and it would start to flap and start to fly, and it just fly away. Because like birds will have that natural flow, so they'll actually do it right. And I wonder if you put longer wings on it, if it actually take off and start to fly. How funny would that be, just seeing its body dangling and it's just flapping across the ocean because it can't stop. If it stops flapping, it'll just die in the ocean.
You're sitting at the beach and a penguin just falls out of the sky right next to you.
You're at the beach and you just look out and see this thing just coming in. And it gets closer and everyone's just pointing at it and it's just like it doesn't even stop. It just keeps flying.
And the children are terrified.
It goes in the city. It's like a view from an apartment in a skyscraper and it's just like and it eventually reaches its end because it can't turn, and it just slams face first in the Empire State Building.
It's on the news.
Terrorist attack. On the scene video, and it just shows the penguin coming in. Everyone ducks behind their desk. And no, it doesn't. It doesn't just hit and fall. It smashes through the window.
Keeps flying.
It keeps flying through the hole. It's flying through the halls. Everyone, alarms going up. And oh my god. Definitely gonna be some penguin in this title. That would be ridiculous. Oh my god. Shit. Yeah. Oh yeah. we should put some smooth jazz in this part. Now, here's some smooth jazz.
Duke Silver.
Oh god.
The giant winged penguin should be the podcast mascot.
Yes. Bigwing. We'll call him Bigwing. Big flap. Big bird.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's taking Big Bird yet. We could probably use that.
I'm gonna make that picture, the image of him just flying with those extended wings. I'm gonna post that.
People running away in terror.
That'd be so fucking funny. Make a whole movie about that. And the big flap cannot stop flapping. He just goes all around the world. Just, you're like on a plane. You just see.
Just looks over at you and keeps flying.
That poor penguin. Oh my god, I fucking had him dizzy.
It's like that movie Speed. He can't stop going.
Yeah.
Or he'll die.
He'll blow up. You know that birds can't fart?
Really?
Yeah. That you've seen Finding Nemo. My favorite line in that whole movie is when I think they're in the the minefield where the submarine is, and Bruce and the other one are chasing him, and the mines blow up, and it goes into the surface, and there's this tiny little bubble. It's like behind the seagull, and there's two seagulls, and it goes, and the one just looks over at him, and he goes, "Nice," and he flies away. And it took me forever. Like, I didn't realize that birds can't fart for like years after that. And then I went back. It just popped in my mind one day, and I was like, "That's fucking genius." Nice. That's a funny movie. Marijuana Hagaloogie. Oh shit.
What's up with Disney and killing off other characters' parents?
Right?
Nemo's mom.
They're fucked up.
Bambi's mom.
I watched this documentary yesterday, called "Exit Through the Gift Shop," I think it was called, and it was like a documentary on graffiti, and it was this guy, and he was they call him Mr. Brainwash, or he called himself Mr. Brainwash. I don't know if it's real or not, but he was like he started filming like everything because I guess his mom died when he was younger or something. So he like didn't want to miss the moments in his life. So he literally filmed like every second of his life. And you go out into his garage, and he just had these, like he was videotaping himself in his garage, videotaping his videotapes. And there's just these totes, like the big totes, just packed with all these little the mini VHS tapes, just thousands of them, because he just like constantly recorded. So he started like getting in with these graffiti artists and stuff, like big name graffiti artists, and it was cool because they showed like footage of them doing graffiti and posting up graffiti, and like not like shitty graffiti, just like spray can, but like actual like art graffiti and like the signs, and they put them up on buildings and shit. But I think his name was Bugsy or something like that, Blinksy or something.
Oh yeah, they have a documentary coming out about him.
Oh really?
Yeah, on HBO.
Yeah. One of his things that he did, was it him? It might have been another guy, but oh shit. They had this he made this inflatable doll in an orange jumpsuit and the black hood to bring more awareness to what was it? Something Bay. I was probably young when it happened. Guantanamo Bay. What was going on there? and he had that doll. He made that doll, and I thought it was fucked up what he did because he brought it into Disney World, and they're videotaping, like the guy's videotaping him there, and he blows it up, and he's there in the documentary. He's like, I saw a sign where it was like, if you want to take a picture, here's a good spot, because it was next to like that train roller coaster around a corner. And he blew up the doll and he hangs it on the fence so like everyone can see it.
Wow.
And like the train stops right after that, and they're like, we're sorry folks, something, we stopped the train, we'll be right with you in a second. But they stopped the train, like it goes around this corner and then up above the track again, but they stopped it right on that hump there where you could have a perfectly clear view of the thing. Sure, they weren't sure if it was a real body or if it was just a prank or not, but they shut down the whole park. And that guy who was recording it is saying that he's like walking out of there, and he's like, I got one guy behind me, and then 2 guy, and 3 guy, and suddenly 10 guys around me, and all of a sudden they tackled me down and they got me. He had this really funny accent. It was like that. And he's talking about when he was in he was being like interviewed by the guys, like, you know, sitting behind the desk with the light bulb and the 2 guys, and they're like, you're in big trouble. And meanwhile they're interviewing the Bugsy guy or whoever was doing it, and he's like I went to the bathroom, I changed my clothes, then I went on this ride, and when the whole park was closed, I was on that ride, and they shut it down. And he's acting like nothing's wrong, and the videotaper guy is getting held up. So they're like asking him how he knows the guy and if he was videotaping him, and he was like, no, I haven't been doing anything. And all they had to do was look at the tape and see that he actually was in on it. So they're like, show us what you have. So he's like, I grabbed the tape and I open it up, and real quick, like, I go right into the menu and I click erase all, and it goes whoop, and it's all gone. And I put the camera down and I say, I don't know him, I don't know you, I don't know what happened, I have nothing. I was like, oh my god, this guy. But it worked. He didn't get arrested or anything. No. But yeah, how the fuck did we go from talking about a penguin
I don't know.
to Disneyland shit? What is this podcast about? Oh my god. Oh shit.
Where are we at for time?
Let's check. Wow, almost an hour.
No. Shit.
2.5 minutes, we'll be at an hour. Do you want to just go the 2.5 minutes, or you want to end with an awkward silence? Okay, that's it. See you next time on the Freaking Out Podcast.
Joe and I's plan for the night is to make sure that fire's going, regulate our body temperature, continue to hydrate, and eat beaver all night long if we want to. This is luxury. You pass me another piece of beaver.